good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Um, this is the Angels in Politics broadcast, but of course you knew that. Remember, you are the news, um, and I am the creative and artistic manifestation of Angels in Politics, and I'm glad to be with you today. And I won't hold you for long, just a few moments, and hopefully we can have a little bit of back and forth discourse through this medium, through this gateway that we call the internet, right? So I'm excited about that. First and foremost, have you had your dinner? Yes, I'm aware. Yesterday was Father's Day, so you perhaps may have leftovers. Um, Good for you. What did you prepare for your father? Um, I was helping out. My brother was doing a lot of the grill work, so he was doing the ribs and all that type of stuff. And my sister-in-law, was frying up some chicken, and that turned out to be marvelous, right? And I was more hands-on with the vegetables, the preparation of the pasta salad, the tossed salad, the corn on the cob, those types of things. Um, Simultaneously, consuming a bit of red wine whilst I did that, and just providing the conversation. So that was kind of my lane for the most part, and it turned out really well. Thank you for asking. Um, if you have some photos of your Father's Day dinner or lunch or breakfast, please send them or show them. I'm looking on my timeline today, and I was yesterday, and I was very impressed to see just the love and admiration and the gratitude that was expressed for fathers. And I'm so psyched for that movement, and for people just to fully uh, recognize how important and powerful being being thankful and giving that bit of encouragement to fathers. I know it's not easy. I can't say I know personally it's not easy, but it's definitely not. And we're aware. I mean, some of us don't articulate it enough how difficult it is to be a parent, a mother or a father. So we have to show, um, we have to give our respect and show um, gratitude when we do have these quote unquote holidays. I mean, every day should be Father's Day. Every day should be Mother's Day. Every day should be treated as if it was a holiday, right? And maybe people would put out, you know, a bit more into the world as far as, noble traits and virtuous, uh, characteristics. Um, and, you know, I will take that advice as well. I'm not a person who's walking around and I'm 100 every single day, or firing off on all cylinders every single day. Um, there are times, and quite often, depending on who you talk to in my family, in which there's plenty of things I need to improve upon. So boom. I guess that's what I will talk to you about today. Um, the improvements in life, the refinement process once you embark upon your journey of awakening and self-realizing, self-actualizing, um, being who you're supposed to be, being who you're going to be, um, being the best version of yourself, that type of thing. Um, it's an interesting process because when you can't determine how long it's going to be, two, you're not in control of the day to day. You're not in control of the vacuum in which you're going to be, confined or constricted, or the parameters that are in place for your growth or for your development to happen. Uh, you really are pretty much in the dark, you know, and that's the rain going on back there. That's the thunder going on back there. So I feel like I'm in the village hidden in the rain right now. Pain might be dropping from the ceiling soon, but it's really important to really be aware of the fact that you just must surrender. You know, you must surrender to God. You must surrender to the ego and to that part of your brain or that those attachments. And you might be attached to not necessarily materialistic things, even though we live in a consumer based society. So 9 times out of 10 you are, but you might be attached to your own intelligence. You're leaning on your own understanding, your own intellectualisms, and you're telling yourself, oh, this is how it's going to be for myself, or this is how it's going to turn out, and I'm smart, I'm well read, I did well in school, I have these XYZ degrees to support or substantiate my claim or assertions of being smart, right? And that has nothing to do with the soul. That has nothing to do with the spirit, the emotional self, the social self, awakening the energy that will be infused with your higher self and lower self, the solar energy with the lunar energy, the positive self with your, and I won't just say negative self, but you know, the polarities, the plus and minus, the yin and the yang. As those converge and you become who you are and you blossom into that flower through the crown chakra, and are fully able to receive those universal downloads, and whenever you're able to receive the energy from the cosmos, and be at one with yourself and be at one with every living thing in this world, and you realize the plants are living, the people of course are living, you know, inanimate objects, and you know you're going to be able to be connected to any and everything in this world. But that comes from you know, a part of you, your spirit is almost like a, think of a lake, think of a lake bed or ocean bed, and your spirit is the ocean floor, or the bed of the lake, and your mind is the water. The mind is the water, and there's so much that is that we think about. There's so much that we've experienced. There's so much that we've gone through. We're the sum of all of our parts. We're the sum of all of our experiences, and due to our life of whatever we're involved in. So our involvements, you know, those if our mind is the water, the waves which take us to and fro, that fluctuate, that are uncontrollable, those are attachments. Those are our desires. Those are those are our senses, right? That's how we feel that this is right. That's how we feel that we should do this. That's how we feel compelled to move this way or that way. This is the part of us that shows anger, expresses joy, expresses pain, it shows greed, lust, all of those types of sensory desires. This is ego driven. It can be pride driven. This could be, you know, this is where animosity resonates. This is where arrogance comes about. This is where um, being protective of what you have, your assets, or your materialistic achievements or accomplishments. This is, you know, having a covetous spirit, or hoarding, or you know, not being able to fully detach yourself from these quote unquote, you know, things that have nothing to do with that sea floor, or that lake bed, or that ocean floor, which is the godlike self, which is your spiritual self, which is your highest self, which is the purest self. And that's where the happiness is. That's where your divinity is. That's where um, that's where you're self-actualized. That's where you're realized. That's where you understand the reason why you are here on this earth at this moment specifically. This is how you will understand if what you were in the past, if your past lives, what you're going to be in the future. Like all of that is at the root, is at the base of of detachment. Once you're able to concentrate your mind, focus the mind, and not be controlled or susceptible to those constant or incessant fluctuations or permutations of the mind that take you to thoughts of destructive behavior. Or maybe it's not destructive. Maybe you're just always thinking about what you're going to eat next. Maybe you're always thinking about what video game you're going to play. Maybe you're always thinking about what clothes you should buy. Maybe you're always, it may not necessarily mean that you're thinking about harming people or doing drugs or violence or things of that nature. Sometimes it's just not of God. It's just not of, and when I mean God, it doesn't have to be like you're walking around with a cross in front of your face and you have a picture of whatever you think Jesus Christ looks like on your phone backdrop, and that's how you meditate every day. Like, I mean, if you do that too, then that's fine, but I'm not talking about that either. I'm just talking about your purest self whenever you're fully detached from the world. And I think for me, I've been in this process of refinement and of growth and maturity, and it's interesting because I want to be at my optimal, productive self, or be at, of be of service to the highest degree. I want to fully surrender myself, but even though I'm saying that, there are still parts of me that want to hold on to my old pathologies, my ways of thinking that may have not been that beneficial to me, right? And it's almost like there's this constant struggle, or there is this paradox, because I want to be elevated, I want to be enhanced, I want to be upgraded, I want to be more of my godlike self, my spiritual self, and awaken that energy and bring that energy from the base of my spine and allow it to flow effortlessly through my body. But at the same time, there are parts of me that still enjoys having, almost like having that 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 fire, or if I'll call it fire, but having that type of, part of that shadow that I talked about previously in other videos, that shadow self that resonates with me, and I liked it. I feel like it's a part of me. I feel like that's who I am. I feel like, there's a part of me who really doesn't want to fully give up, like, meat and eating meat. Not to say that you have to. I'm not saying that's what you need to do, but like, if I want to be of optimal health, could I live my life without eating meat? And I'm saying physically I could. Do I want to? And that's one of those things. It's like, do I want to give that up? Do I want to give up drinking wine whenever I drink so much wine? And not to say I consume a lot, but I enjoy the process of it. I enjoy the intricacies of the wine. I enjoy the history. I enjoy all of these types of things that I like to research, and I feel like I want to go off on a journey and learn more about wine. But that's a part of me that's in conflict with, like, how do you plan on fully achieving that spiritual level if you still are tethered to what you want to consume and what you want to receive from drinking red wine, right? Even the carnal desires, right? Like, I haven't I haven't had much experience in my life with expressing myself sexually, but I would say there are still parts of me that really that really that doesn't want to release that doesn't want to surrender that part of my thinking, when it comes to having those, almost that what do they call, that eye of the tiger, or that that emotion, that provocative or evocative spirit that allows me to be to be powerful, or to be strong, or to be in control, dominant in that type of sexual dynamic landscape. I feel like if I fully release, if I fully surrender, and I don't have these thoughts, then maybe I will never, maybe I will never like be able to, I don't know, satisfy a woman, or maybe I will become one of those people who are like monks or something, or sages who dedicate their life to the higher self or the calling, and they don't engage with women. And I'm 100% like not like that, you know. I mean, I want to be a sage, or I want to be a person who is doing incredible things to help others, but I definitely 100% very much like to be in contact and close proximity and learn and express myself and glean knowledge, wisdom, nobility, truthfulness, encouragement, passion, the divinity, everything from women. So I don't know. Like I'm in this conflict. I'm in this constant state of push pull, push pull. Like I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. If you have some of these like thoughts, I don't know if you feel that open to express them with me. But if you do, like, you can talk to me. And if you don't want to use it on, if you don't want to talk to me openly on this platform, I will start to do live videos soon. And I know some people are kind of like skeptical to like talk about their personal, spiritual, like mental, emotional states online and stuff, because this is very surface level. This is very fictitious. I think it's almost like it's a game for a lot of people via social media. It's almost like a, you know, a projection. It's like I'm showing my pseudo self, not my real self. I'm showing a facade. I'm showing you a persona. But I feel like in order to have true engagements, a true relationship, and to fully like get yourself on the next level, you got to strip away that ego. Like, and this is me covering. That's that third eye. That's that, you know, pineal gland. That's that pituitary gland. That's that part of yourself. That's, in order for you to fully actualize and realize who you are, you're gonna have to surrender. Namaste. Namaskar.